Hello, I'm Dr. Frances Pitzilis. Bullying in the workplace? Yes. About 50% of people, more or less, depending on where you look, have been bullied in one way, shape or form. It is much more common than you think. And the other thing about bullying is that you may not even know that you're being bullied. It could be quite insidious, and then over a period of time you're becoming stressed, you're walking on eggshells and you don't know why, and it doesn't necessarily dawn on you until you're really quite unwell and you come to see a doctor like me. So it's not about physically punching you up or physically bullying you. It can be very subtle, and psychological bullying does occur in the workplace. The sorts of things that people can do include attacking your performance, nitpicking, criticising, changing your goals without consulting you, leaving you out of the loop, not informing you, blocking promotions. Sometimes you can have managers or other people make little belittling movements like raising their eyebrows, very subtle things going on, eye lifting, eye rolling, heavy sighs, finger gestures, shoulder shrugging, arm waving. Sometimes you get denied or manipulation of your leave. There can be emotional attacks when your manager or someone else has no control over their own stress and they attack you and make you feel guilty and told you've lost the plot when really they've lost the plot. Sometimes you're forced to resign because it's so difficult in that workplace because of the bullying. Sometimes you can be isolated and not being informed and kept out of the loop. Sometimes you can be intentionally excluded from important information or systems, or even someone tampering with your workstation or your work. You can be given too much work. You can be threatened with dismissal. You can be undermined. And there can be other verbal attacks like temper tantrums. Now, there are certain psychological types of bullying that have been documented in the literature. Chronic or serial bullying, this is the most common type. Most chronic bullies victimise a succession of employees in that workplace, and you find that that workplace is dysfunctional and people come and go a lot. The split or dual personality, now this actually may well be someone with a personality disorder. On the one hand they're charming, and on the other hand they can be seriously manipulative, and then you never know what they're going to do and you become fearful of them. The constantly hypocritical person, someone who will criticise a behaviour but then do it themselves. There are accomplished liars. There are people who are chameleons, who are able to say with great skill what others want to hear and be all things to all people, and these are the manipulators in the workplace. So when you might want to say that they've done something, nobody else thinks that they've done that because they seem to be okay. Then there are the control freaks, the people that must be in control of all aspects of their lives and believe that they're always right. People who are devoid of emotion, they're inhumane, emotionally untrustworthy and lack empathy. These are the personality disorders again. People with inflated ego, narcissistic, personality disorder. Then there are people who are opportunistic bullies. They find an opportunity and they bully you then. They leave their bullying at work and they have normal private lives. There are lots of other forms of bullying. Then there's the sergeant major sort of bullying, the sort of loud and sort of obvious bully, probably the least harmful. And then there's the organisational or corporate bully. This is the person who's manipulating things to go up the ladder and gain status in the workplace. And then there's group bullying. groups of people get together and bully together. They wouldn't normally bully on their own, but when they're in a group, they seem to be empowered to bully people. So there's a lot of forms of bullying, even financial bullying, where financial loss is threatened, and cyberbullying, which you'll see on another video, and text message bully. So why do people bully? Well, I think that they've been bullied themselves, and perhaps they don't know how to deal with their own stresses in the workplace or in life. What's often happened to these people is that they haven't been taught empathy as a child. Perhaps both parents were working and there wasn't enough time. Perhaps that child didn't have enough role models as a child and as I mentioned, had poor parenting. We know that bullying comes out of overload of violence on television and in the movies, being a victim yourself of a bully, and in 1 to 3% of people, it's a personality disorder. It's someone who has no empathy, might be quite narcissistic, quite selfish. So I think it's important when you think you're being bullied to actually document this and try and think that it's not you. When things seem irrational, you tend to think that you're doing something wrong and that you must improve your performance. But after a while, you'll start to realise that this is actually bullying and harassment. So you need to document everything, keep a record, and speak to someone that you trust in your workplace.